Did it at my birthday dinner.
Yes.
Were you at the birthday dinner?
Yeah, I sat right next to him. I was here. James was there.
What happened
it's
from
funny,
Jeffree Lynn's eyes?
It's a crazy meme of this because of her. No one ever heard my version. They just they saw Tati's video. The birthday dinner.
What actually happened at the infamous
It was the height
dinner?
of... It was her birthday, so it was like her friends and family and a lot of normal people, not YouTubers, not people with a lot of money. And to me, it was that height of James's new fame, new money, going batshit crazy and not knowing how to handle it all, and it turned him into a monster. Or he already was that, and the money amplified it. And he really thought, I have money, you're gonna sleep with me. It was very disgusting. Doesn't matter who you were, you want him. You hear that creak? That's
the silence is loud.
And that shit
it had been
happens so often
weeks
in
of
Hollywood.
buildup of the ego getting so dark and crazy, and just so many weird things and stories coming out to us and really bizarre things. And the dinner was him at his most disgusting. And there was a 19-year-old waiter who he tricked into his room later that night, and the guy said he wanted to leave, and James was like, I paid for this. You have to hook up with me. I bought the room. But everyone just makes it about sucking in the memes and her stupid ass video. But it was really, as someone that was there, and I'm all about shock value. I'm fucking crazy. It was just disgusting to witness.
Because it's one thing to say something
And
shocking
there's
for the bit.
Tati's family there, and we all know we're shocking and we can say whatever we want. But when you're at that environment, you don't say crazy. It was all just too much, and it just bubbled up crazy, and we all flew home just horrified by this person, disgusted.
Holy fuck.
And I think she really felt like in her heart that exposing him as a alleged and all these things was going to teach him a lesson and remove him from the platform. It really wasn't about gummies.
Hello and welcome to Influencer Police, a place where we expose the lies, the cheating, and the dirty ways of these filthy influencers. Jeffree Star talks Dramageddon, James Charles, Trisha Paytas, Morphe, and Hidden Tunnels on the new canceled podcast by Tana Mojo and Brooke. I'm Chief Coconut, and this is Influencer Police. Buckle the fuck up. Okay, so I wanted to get on here and talk about this new canceled podcast, which, if you don't know what canceled is, it's basically Tana Mojo and Brooke Schofield's podcast where they just talk, about whatever they want. A lot of drama, a lot of shit like that. Just them shooting the shit. And sometimes they'll have guests on the podcast, and they recently had Jeffree Star on the podcast, and it just came out today. If I upload this video today, it's today. It could also, I may upload this tomorrow, so it'll be yesterday, but just know very, very recently. So I wanted to get on here and talk about it because they asked Jeffree Star a lot of good questions, and they got into a lot of juicy stuff. Now, I wish Jeffree Star gave us a little bit more into certain topics because I'm really curious about some of the Dramageddon stuff, the Trisha Paytas stuff, some questions that have been unanswered throughout the years. But I found it interesting what he did say and his take on James Charles and Tati. Now, if we don't remember Dramageddon, it was basically, y'all remember the Bye Sister video from Tati. Basically, her coming out against James Charles, calling him an alleged predator, and he's a shitty-ass person. Which, fast forward to 2024, and, yup. She wasn't far off. So, there's that. But it basically started a huge stir in the drama community, and Tati ended up posting that video. It got hella attention. James Charles lost millions and millions of subscribers overnight. It was an insane time. And he rebutted against Tati and that narrative with his own video, which gained him back his influence and people took his side. because he came with all these receipts and he talked around the BS, and it worked for him at that moment. Now, later on, it was proven that he was talking to minors and he does really sketchy shit with men and minors and using his money for influence. And I'll say allegedly, but he has literally come out on apology videos and has said, like, yeah, I talked to him and he was a minor, but, like, I didn't know, and he lied about his age. Honey, that's still you talking to a minor, so there's that. But basically, Jeffree and Shane Dawson were pulled into this drama because Tati came back with a second video that basically said, I was manipulated to make the By Sister video by Jeffree and Shane Dawson, and they manipulated me to make this video and go after James Charles. And now a lot of people have different opinions about this. They have their opinions about Shane and Jeffree, James and Tati, you know. They've all done controversial things. Some unforgivable, some I would say forgivable. But for me, James Charles is unforgivable, and he's a fucking creep. Like, a fucking creep in my opinion, allegedly. Like, you're going to talk to minors, you're a fucking creep. Point blank period, in my opinion. And he's just really fucking annoying, honestly, just also in my opinion. And, you know, in the recent years, you know, there's been so many men, boys that have come out against James Charles and had Snapchat proof and all this shit like that. And some were proven not true and some were proven true. So the ones that were proven true, yeah, you're disgusting, James Charles. And I'll never forget it. I will never buy anything James Charles. I will never buy his makeup. I will never support him in a million fucking years. That guy is a fucking creep in my opinion. And we do not stand with James Charles in this channel. He crossed the fucking line, bitch. So, bringing it back to Jeffree, he's talking about all this on the podcast. And in Tati's video By Sister, there's a line that's just going to go down in history as, and you did it at my birthday dinner. Basically saying that at Tati Westbrook's, which if you're not familiar with Tati Westbrook, she's like an older beauty influencer that was on YouTube for years. Now she's moved on to TikTok. I really don't keep up with her. I never watched her. I never cared. Boring, blah, bye, right? And I was never a Tati person. Never sparked my interest. But that's basically her background. And I'm kind of all over the place in this video, but there's so much backstory to this story and like why I'm talking about it today. But basically, Tati is kind of a weirdo herself, and she befriended James Charles when he was up and coming in his career. And I believe he was like 17 at the time when he really like rose to fame and started getting an audience and a platform. Like, he was very, very young. And Tati Westbrook befriended James and kind of took him under her wing and mentored him, which she is older. Like, I'm not exactly sure, like maybe in her 40s or something at this point. I'm just guessing. I don't have her exact age, but she's always been much older than James. So I don't know. Like, that's kind of fucking weird to me, to be honest. It's just like, it's weird. It's really weird to me. I don't know. Like, I can see like being someone's mentor and stuff like that, but I don't know. In another sense, it's kind of weird. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Like, probably she was in her like late 30s at the time or early 30s, and then she's befriending this 17-year-old and trying to mentor him. And what do you guys think of that? I don't know. But anyways, so James Charles was at one of her birthday dinners, and so was Jeffree Star. And this was the birthday dinner that she talked about in the By Sister video, where she basically said James Charles was super inappropriate during this dinner, making really crude jokes, very sexual jokes, and apparently, which I wasn't aware of, and Jeffree Star talked about in the Cancelled podcast, was that night, allegedly, James Charles bought a hotel room close to whatever restaurant they were at, and I think lured a 19-year-old man, and I don't know if it was the waiter or what, but he eventually got some 19-year-old in his room, and in Jeffree's world tried to hold him like captive and wanted this 19-year-old to give him sexual favors, and said, you can't leave, I bought the room. You can't leave, I bought the room. So he wanted allegedly to trap this 19-year-old man in there with him, and for the 19-year-old to give him sexual favors because he bought the room and he's paying for it. And I don't know if there was any other money involved, but whatever happened was enough for that whole dinner party to look at James in a completely different way and be disgusted. So whatever he did, whatever went down that night with James, was something that made the whole fucking table like turn on James. So I don't know exactly what happened there, but it sounds weird and creepy. And I don't know I don't know if James told them what happened with this 19-year-old or how they know like what happened in the room, which I was kind of wondering. I'm like, well, how do you know like this happened? So I don't know what happened and how they know, but it was enough for the whole fucking table to turn on James Charles, allegedly. So I found that interesting because I was like a little piece of more information on the story. And Jeffree said that he's kind of, I'm paraphrasing, but he's kind of annoyed that people always say it was about gummies. The By Sister video was about gummies, or they always focus on the crude things that James said on the table. But there's really something more dark and sinister to what happened that night that really encouraged Tati to make the By Sister video. And Jeffree said that Tati wanted to make this video to allegedly deplatform James, and basically he's a creep that shouldn't have a platform, and her hopes was to maybe deplatform him from YouTube. And I mean, it worked for a little bit, but he rebutted and he got his platform back. And you know, over the years there's been so many controversies with James where he's had to make apology videos, and in these he actually admits to doing some really disturbing, disgusting things with minors, which basically has led to his demise almost. Now, what's really strange to me about all of this is he seems to have made a comeback on TikTok, and he gets views, he gets engagement. I don't fucking keep track of James Charles, okay, I'll tell you that. I don't know if he's getting sponsorships again. I don't know that much about him. I stay as far away from that creep as I can. That is not on my For You page. I do not look, but I have seen some of his videos blow the fuck up. Someone will be like, have you seen James Charles recently? He's like getting all the views and engagement again. I say, oh, let me look. Oh yeah, millions of views, hella likes. People are actually buying his painted products, which is so disturbing to me. I don't understand how anyone could buy that creep's makeup and support him after everything that's come out. I mean, time and time again. It blows my mind. And a lot of people say, I'm going to separate the artist from the product or the music or whatever. But it's like, I could see that for something smaller. But this is like, no. For me, no. That's a hard pass. There's only so much I can separate. You hear what I'm saying? There's a line, and he crossed it, in my opinion, allegedly. So I found that interesting that Jeffree kind of got into that a little bit more. He also said that he thinks Tati is evil, and I believe he used the word old witch or something like that, which is interesting. Like, I would like to know more of that lore. Like, I know that Tati basically blamed the whole situation on Shane and Jeffree. And my opinion on that is I don't know what the fuck happened behind the scenes. I don't know what they all know. But I'll say this. Tati Westbrook is a grown woman. A grown woman. At the time of making those videos, to now, to before the videos, she's a grown-ass woman, honey. So, just sit up there and say these two people manipulated you into making this video is... It's just not a good argument for me. I mean, you are grown. Like, your brain is fully developed, honey. If you can't get past manipulation, if you can't think for yourself, if you're being manipulated by people to making those videos, I don't know what to tell you, honey. Like, I just don't see that as an argument. I mean, in my opinion, I'm like, yeah, people can be manipulative, but if you're smart and you're grown, you should see through the bullshit and the manipulation at that point. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's on you. You can't blame someone on that shit. Like, you're a grown woman. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I always thought that was like a lame cop out. It's like, dude, what are you talking about? I'm sure that, I mean, Jeffree likes to say that he had basically no involvement with it, but I'm sure Shane and Jeffree did have some kind of involvement, and we're talking to Tati about it and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, James Charles was exposed for, I'll say, allegedly being a creep. So I'm just kind of like, I don't really see the problem with the By Sister video, because what was exposed from it actually turned out to be allegedly true. So it was actually, it's like, James Charles should not have a platform, in my opinion. So I'm kind of just like, you guys get what I'm saying here? Like, it was he was exposed for these creepy things. So I don't see what the fucking problem is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's an interesting topic, but I wish that he actually was deplatformed. I'll say that. So tell me what you guys think on that part of the video. I really do wish that we got a little bit more of the lore and a little bit more details. And Jeffree always said that he has some kind of recording from one of James' alleged victims that he never put out, because I believe the victim said he didn't want it out there. So Jeffree never like published it or told anyone. And that's always something that sparked my curiosity of like, what is that? Like, what happened there? So there's a lot of things to it. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if James is still doing the same old shit. You know, going on Instagram and trying to find young men, allegedly just being a fucking creep. Going on the Snapchat, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised at all. It seems like almost every single year something sketchy about him comes out. I'm just like, if you're at a point where you have to ask someone for someone's ID in order to talk to them, you have to verify someone's ID. You're a creep. Never in my fucking life or wildest dreams have I ever had to ask someone for their ID to make sure that they are above 18. Never in my fucking life, never in my wildest dreams would I ever have had to have done that in my fucking life. Like, if you're a sane, uncreepy adult, you know who is over 18. You know who is well in your age range. You don't need to ask for ID. So there's just so many things about James Charles. I really can't stand that guy for real. But then they asked him about Trisha Paytas. They asked Jeffree about Trisha Paytas. And I do know that Jeffree is going on Trisha's podcast, and they already filmed it. I don't know when she's releasing it, but I'm super hyped about that one because there is so much drama with them. We all remember when Trisha went to Vegas with Jeffree and Hair by Jay, and that big drama happened with Trisha saying that they made fun of her skin and her weight and basically were bullying her. I can't actually say any words on fucking YouTube, but you know what I'm saying. And she was super uncomfortable and basically left early, and that's what inspired Hair by Jay to make that really disgusting video to Trisha Paytas.
Everyone's been tagging me in this about Jeffree still using Hair by Jay. Obviously he is. Jeffree's the one who said all those vile things. Jay was just stupid enough to repeat and confirm it online because he's his little minion. But Jeffree is also just as vile, so obviously trash is going to keep trash. He was just trying to save face for a couple days, I guess. If you don't remember Jay, let me remind you of this beautiful human.
Bitch, I will destroy you, bitch. By the time I'm done with you, you're gonna look anorexic.
And these are the people that Shane and Rylan continue to support for that dollar. Rylan and his shitty merch using Jeffree's merch company. But okay, cool. Trash recognized trash. Devil plays with devil. Cool. The most offensive part about Jay's rant was him saying if we, him including himself and Jeffree, you're the hired help, don't forget. But he said if we called her, saying him and Jeffree called me, that I'd be dying to hang out with them. And Jeffree called and pleaded, trying to keep some sort of friendship or some sort of like cool relationship online. I would never hang out with these two people again if you paid me $1 million. They're the trash scum of the internet, and it's been proven time and time again, but because they're popular, they get away with it. And because they have money. Money doesn't buy happiness. They're cold and dark on the inside. Let me
for a nacho and Jeffree slapping my hand and saying don't eat, and like just constantly, like if I ask for like the price, like, oh, why are you asking for prices? Like, it's just insane to me. It's insane to me that there's people like this, and the fact that this is like Jeffree's like this BFF that like just he's ride or die for, and he, you know, all of this is coming, that they talk shit about me, and it's like so triggering because I am insecure. He constantly tells me about it. I am so insecure about my skin and my weight, and oh yeah, I don't make enough. I have to hear all the fucking time that I'm like just renting my house, just mean, petty, mean girl shit.
Basically just repeating everything that Trisha said, that they were talking about her, and he mentioned her skin, just really nasty, really aggressive. That got Hair by Jay completely canceled, and Jeffree still works with him. Jeffree said that Jay and Trisha worked it out. I don't fucking know, but all I know is I remember that Hair by Jay video, and he was really nasty to Trisha and very aggressive. So there was a lot of shit with that. But I'm interested to see how Trisha and Jeffree worked through that, because it was really, really bad. Trisha Paytas basically ended her friendship with Shane Dawson and Rylan Adams because they still talked to Jeffree Star. Like, she was that against and over and hurt by Jeffree Star that she ended her friendship with Shane over it. So there was drama there, and I'm really interested to see them together in the podcast. I'm so hyped to see that. I cannot wait, but we're gonna see what happens. Another thing that they talked about in the Cancel podcast was Tana asked him about tunnels in the Hollywood Hills, and Jeffree confirmed that yes, there is indeed tunnels. He's been asked to do weird things to get, the Illuminati has tried to blackmail him into submission, and he said he's declined the offers, and I think that's honestly probably part of the reason he also left LA, is because he wanted to get away from the dark shit. He said he never went to a Diddy party, so that's good. But yeah, he basically confirming what we already all know is the underground tunnels. Now, I really want to make a video about these alleged tunnels in underground cities, because allegedly there are literal cities underground. I'm talking about all the kinds of transportation. I'm talking about legit ass cities, like what you see here, underground. And I'm really, really curious about that. Now, someone who's speaking out about that a lot is Ali Carter. If you're not familiar with Ali Carter, She was one of P. Diddy's alleged victims, and she's been very outspoken about her experience. She's name dropped a lot of celebs. She's been very detailed and specific with her stories, and she's talked about these underground tunnels in cities and what she's seen and what she's experienced. And it sounds absolutely horrifying. She basically says, like, once you're fucking down there, unless you have a guide, because there's guides down there that guide people to where they need to go and to guide them out. She basically said that if you don't have a guide to guide you out, you're almost like trapped under there, because it's almost impossible to get out. If you don't know the fucking way, you don't know how to get out. So that's also terrifying, because we know about, oh my god, how do I say this? Traffic cones. Human traffic cones, you know what I'm saying? And all these people missing. Yeah, there's some above ground, but I believe there's a lot underneath the ground. You know what I'm saying? In these tunnels. In these underground cities. So I really, really want to look into that and make a video about that, because that's wild. It's so wild about this world and how dark it really is. It truly baffles me, honestly. Crazy. So let me know if you guys are interested in that. But is there anything else that, like, oh, they also talked about, Jeffree Star talked about how Morphe, you know, the makeup store Morphe, allegedly owes him around 1.8 to 1.6 million dollars, because apparently, and also apparently they owe a lot of creators money, but Morphe filed for bankruptcy a few years ago, and I guess that exempt them from paying people the money that they owed. So now these creators are just out millions of dollars because Morphe filed bankruptcy. But what's really interesting to me about that is I'm pretty sure Morphe is back running new products, collabing with other creators. So they have the money to do that, but they don't have the money to pay back the people that they owe. Very interesting how that works, and how filing for bankruptcy can just like expunge you from your debts, even to like people. And I saw some comments saying like you can put some kind of lawsuit against them within a certain amount of days to a bankruptcy, and the judge can determine if the company or whoever has to pay the person. But I mean, Jeffree Star is really good with money and smart and as a lawyer, so I'm sure like if there was some type of option to get the money back, he would have went through that. But I don't know. I am loving kind of seeing all these people from, you know, like 2019 and drama and all that come together again and rehash things and talk about it. And I kind of just miss that time of YouTube. I used to love watching the collabs and all the videos, and I just feel like YouTube these days is really dry. Like, I feel like YouTube, like, there's not creators like that anymore. It's like everything is on TikTok these days. I feel like YouTube is really just like documentary content, commentary. You have the really big channels doing like weird shit like Mr. Beast and all that, and a lot of podcasts now. But I feel like those kind of creators, like back in the day, like they just don't exist. But they exist, but they're like obviously very smaller, and you know, I'm not aware of them. But it's just a different atmosphere on YouTube these days. And what do you guys think about that? Like, are you watching a lot of people on YouTube? Like, what do you guys like? What do you watch on YouTube? I'm super curious. For me, I mostly just watch kind of more documentary style videos, and I watch a lot of commentary and podcasts on YouTube. That's what I watch. But when I really want to get into something interesting for me, I will go on Rumble. Because on Rumble, people can talk, and they don't have to fucking filter nothing, honey. And there's really interesting subjects on Rumble that you can't really talk about on here. So when I want to hear something real as shit, I go to fucking Rumble, bitch. But just for like some kikiing and shit like that, I'm on YouTube. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm kikiing, but the thing is, I also like to get into some real shit, of course, because I'm a real fucking bitch. And it's hard for me to get into some subjects because I'm just like, I don't want my fucking channel, like, to go down in flames, you know? So that is why I have made a Rumble. It's just Influencer Police. Go follow it. But I'm not sure when I'm going to post on there or what's happening with that. So just bear with me, y'all. Just enjoy the fucking ride. We're going to see what happens. But anyways, so that is my video. I've just been rambling here on and fucking on. I'm about to go make quesadillas. I'm hella hyped. I make really good quesadillas, y'all. For real, for real, for real. Yeah. So if you've made it this far in the video, is there like, put a cheese emoji? Put cheese emoji, because like, I'm gonna make quesadillas. So put the cheese emoji, and I know you're a fucking ass real one. I appreciate all of you fucking real ones. I fucking noticed y'all. I fucking love y'all. I fucking appreciate you. Yeah, you did not go unnoticed, bitch. I fucking appreciate you guys so much. I may have set up memberships by the time of posting this. So if I have set up memberships, please join my memberships because it really, really, really would help me and my channel out a lot. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to post all my Patreon videos and just make them available for memberships. So you'll have all that content. And then something I need to focus on is providing content in there. I was thinking like maybe somehow doing lives, but I don't know how I would go about that because I'm an anonymous channel. But I'm trying to think of ways, you know, what you guys want me to give on the memberships. Just let me know. We can tweak it. We can go on along for the ride, bitch. But yeah, just like your support, I really appreciate. Okay, so just know that. And please subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Please like this video. It helps us out so much. Please hit the notification button so you never miss a video. And I will see you in the next one. And please let me know what you want me to talk about. Let me know if you guys want me to talk about Def Noodles coming back as like an AI version of himself. Fucking crazy shit. That's actually the video I was going to make today, and then this whole fucking podcast dropped, so I wanted to talk about it. But let me know if you guys want me to talk about Def Noodles because it's actually crazy. Anyways, I am too tired to sing. Am I too tired to sing? I'll end it with a statement this time because I'm tired. James Charles, you're a creep. In my opinion, alleged. Subscribe.